An entire week has passed since the checkered flag was waved at the Abu Dhabi GP, bringing the 2024 season to a close. Focus now shifts to the upcoming season for the teams. Red Bull Racing at the moment are still yet to announce which driver will become Max Verstappen's teammate next season. Why does it take so much time for the decision can become official in the case it was already taken at Monday's meeting? Nobody in the F1 paddock assumes that Sergio Perez will also drive for Red Bull in 2025. The Mexican was reportedly told by Christian Horner and Helmut Marko the day after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix that there is no longer a place for him at the team, but nothing has been announced to the outside world yet. This must have something to do with the fact that Red Bull and Perez must first agree on the terms for terminating his contract. In the end, everything is about money. Red Bull want to give the Mexican as little as possible, while Perez wants to make the most of it. Not only does Perez want his entire salary estimated by sources to be around $14 million a year, but also the compensation for the income he misses out on from his sponsors as a result of not driving for Red Bull in F1. Indeed, there are several parties in Mexico that pay Perez handsomely, given he competes in Formula One. If that is no longer the case, they would not want to pay him at all, or pay as much. The sum involved is likely to add up to tens of millions. It is important for Perez that he gets the most out of the negotiations, especially given his status in Mexico. It would kill his image among the proud Mexicans if it were to leak that Perez not only loses his place at Red Bull, but was also relieved of his duties with pennies. As a result, it also remains unclear who will also drive for Racing Bulls, the junior team within the Red Bull family, as it is linked to the Mexican's departure. Liam Lawson would still be the main candidate to succeed Perez, although Honda is pushing to put protege Yuki Tsunoda alongside Verstappen. Isaac Hadjar is definitely leaving Formula 2 and would be the main candidate to get promoted to Formula 1 if Tsunoda or Lawson were to move on. Perez has been under pressure for most of this season after scoring just 152 of Red Bull's 581 points and rarely getting near teammate Max Verstappen. The last weekend in Qatar saw him eliminated in the first part of sprint qualifying, and he spun in the main race on a safety car restart, overheating his clutch in the process, which caused him to retire. Checo has been a wonderful driver for us. Certainly in 2021, 2022, 2023, he contributed to Max's championship in 2021 and the Constructors in 2022 and 2023, Horner said. Most of all, he's a great guy. He's not enjoying the situation he's in at the moment. He knows the pressure of this business. We are going to give him all the support we can all the way to the checkered flag in Abu Dhabi. What he decides to do, that will be his decision at the end of the day. He's old enough and wise enough to come to his own conclusions. There's still a race to go. Horner later reiterated to the written media, Checo's old enough and wise enough to know what the situation is. Let's see where we are after Abu Dhabi. Perez's start to the season, which featured 4 podiums in 5 races, soon earned him a 2-year contract extension in June until the end of 2026 season. But, with Red Bull's bosses not denying that his new term contains performance clauses. After Red Bull chose to stick with him beyond the summer break, Perez produced his best form for months at September's Azerbaijan GP, but finished without anything to show for it after a last-lap collision with Carlos Sainz. Aside from Baku, Perez has largely struggled, and his lack of points has meant Red Bull are likely to finish third in the Constructors' Championship behind McLaren and Ferrari. Sergio Perez is set to leave Red Bull at the end of the F1 2024 season. Perez has come under pressure during a disastrous season, with the Mexican driver still without a podium finish since the Chinese Grand Prix in April. Having failed to retain the Constructors' title, Red Bull are expected to confirm Perez's departure in the aftermath of this weekend's season-ending Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. 2 drivers are understood to be in contention to become Max Verstappen's new teammate for F1 2025, with Williams' Franco Colapinto no longer a target. What you think about Sergio Perez set to leave Red Bull at end of season? Like and comments below.